The album that we are going to be doing this week is the brand new album Another Day by the band Fucked Up, which I've had to censor on Twitch and will eventually be censored on Spotify and YouTube and everywhere because it's against terms of services. Anyways, Another Day is the 8th studio album by Toronto, Ontario, Canada hardcore punk band Fucked Up. Another Day is a sequel to their 6th studio album, One Day, which infamously gave each member of the band a strict 24 hours to record their individual parts for the whole album. Another Day follows the same parameter, so they restricted each member to only 24 hours to get all their parts done. And then each track on this album, Another Day, corresponds to a parallel track on their 6th album, One Day. So, Eric, your thoughts on brand new album by Fucked Up?
I didn't know that. So they eat like for this one or the last one? They
For both. So
for both.
the
They had
6th album,
24 hours
so the
for both.
guitarist had 24 hours to record all his guitar parts. The keyboardist 24 hours. Each member got 24 hours to like get everything done.
Wow. Okay. Um so I was never really a fan of this band.
Oh,
Uh
do you know this band prior to listening to this
I
album?
do. I
Okay.
do know this band.
Okay.
Was never really a fan of them. Uh I did like songs here and there that I've heard, but it was more in passing. Um so I can't really name any album or compare it to any other albums that they've had. I when I listen to this band, I'm picturing just like these guys are from Toronto. They gotta be from like where the El Macombo was, that hipster square center. They
Right.
probably like
Yeah.
started there
Yeah.
and we're just like having their cup of coffee at like in their jumpsuits or whatever. Um it's like not really a fan of the screaming
Okay.
in any most music unless it's played well, like unless it's done well, like Alexis on Fire, bands like that, where you have
A
like a
contrast.
nice melody, like contrast. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's what does it for me. Or there's got to be like heavy guitar or something, like something to
Okay.
kind of go with that vocal aggression.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like the hipster sound of this album, like musically, like with the instruments, guitar, keys, drums, and everything, it just did not fit sometimes. I felt like it was almost like it was just clashing. And it was almost like, okay, I don't know the singer's name, but okay, Timmy, just continue to sing, right? So, um,
Okay.
yeah. Uh, there were there's a couple songs that I actually liked. I liked "Tell Yourself You Will." I like "Stimming." I
Mm.
thought that was a cool tune. "Follow Fine Feeling" was pretty good. I like there was one song, I think it was "Another Day," where where it was like there's a guitar that's like
Yeah. Yeah. That's the one. Yeah. Yeah.
right. Yeah, so but then I just felt like it was off with the vocals a bit, and it just didn't contrast very well, and I
Oh,
felt like it was
interesting.
like I was kind of confused in my brain. I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
what the hell's going on here?
Interesting. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and then the backup vocals, something needed to change there because it just didn't contrast the singer very well. Like I think there's a few things that they could have probably have done to make it sound more like that, flow better
Mm.
through the songs.
Okay. 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 Interesting. I do have a question.
Mm.
Hardcore punk or just hardcore bands in general, is that something you normally listen to slash know of or have a dislike for in general?
No, I actually do like
Okay.
this genre of music,
Okay.
but usually it's a little bit heavier.
Yes, actually, yeah, I do agree. It is actually,
Yeah.
yeah, usually heavier than this, which is hilarious. Uh, okay, interesting. So I do like this album quite a bit. I And I actually enjoy harsh vocals most of the time, regardless of the context it's in. It's like even in
Mhm.
an opera or like classical music, if you start screaming and it's just like a complete clash, I'm like, that's pretty cool. Like if they can pull it off,
Mhm.
I always like, oh, that's pretty cool. But uh, for some reason, when on this album, I don't like it for whatever reason. Like normally I do like harsh vocals, but for some reason I just it didn't fit or didn't sit in the mix for
Mhm.
that I enjoyed it as much, which was sort of weird to me. Um, but in terms of the instruments, I thought it was like brilliant. Like I love the guitar riffs in this thing. It's like it's so cool that they have like these like really catchy riffs in some of these songs and like the drumming spot on. Um, it's just I don't know the vocal and the rest of the band where it's sat. I was just like, it's sort of weird.
Mhm.
Um,
'Cause
but
I
yeah,
agree. I agree, like, the guitar, like, if they took out the vocal, the lead vocalist,
yeah,
and put in, like, an actual, like, just, like, your alternative singer, like, it would've sounded good. I think it would've sounded pretty good.
yeah. If you had like a actual melodic singer, I think it'd sound actually really good. Like, but I don't want to discredit the attempt of putting a harsh vocal in there because I think it would still
Mhm.
work. I just don't know like maybe the tone of the harsh vocal in this just didn't sit well with me or I don't know. I think it could still work with a harsh vocal. It's just like I don't know the
Hmm.
way it was done on this album. I was just like, there's something off with it, which is
Yeah.
unfortunate. Um, but everything else on the album, I was just like, this is brilliant. Even the backup vocals, I don't know how you felt about the backup vocals on this album, but I thought the harmonies were just like, I can't believe you guys are doing these harmonies under, like, attempting it to do it under this harsh vocal. It's hilarious.
It and there was, like, a three-part vocal harmony in one of the songs, and I
Yeah.
remember being like, "Wow, that's actually really good."
Yeah.
But it just seemed off. Like, that's what it is. It's just off with that screaming vocals. I'd be interesting. You're more of an expert in that field of vocal range, in terms of screaming. Uh, do you like how would you have changed it?
I, for me, the vocal in here, and I guess it's hard to really change someone's personal style in the way they sing because like everyone has a certain tone they sing in and like I think that's what I have a problem with is the actual tone of the vocalist's harsh vocal. I would have preferred a more death metal, like an actual like a bassier sound. This one sounded more like uh what's the PC way of saying it? I'm just gonna say it just sounds like an overweight dude just screaming into a microphone like really close. Like he like that's literally what it sounds like. But like I don't know. For me, like a more like a proper death metal vocalist who like has the lung capacity and like the actual strength to project the voice, I think it would have worked a lot better. Just a bassier sound. This one just sounded sort of like I don't know a grunting dad, sort of like on the
A
couch.
grunting dad
Like and that's
getting
not.
up,
I don't want to
get,
be like
ugh.
like and that's not meant to be like an insult or anything because like it's literally the tone of the voice that we're critiquing here and you can't really change that but
Mhm.
I mean for me it just doesn't sit in the mix of the rest of the band which is unfortunate
Mm.
but I don't know the rest of the like the songs are actually I really like the songs and like the energy behind it is like I haven't listened to an album like with this much like passion in it for a while
Mhm.
but I think the sticking point really is just that lead vocal.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
I I agree. I'm very curious to check out the album previous to this last year to see if there was anything to it. And do you think the 24-hour recording deadline had anything to do with how this shaped out? Because I think that's
Yeah,
impressive. 24 hours as a guitar player, get all your parts in,
10 tracks. Yeah.
10 tracks, right? So there's a bit of pressure,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
right? There's a little bit of pressure on there. So, do you think maybe it was the pressure that got to the singer? Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Like obviously, like if you really nitpick it, like you can definitely pick spots on certain songs and just like, hey, you could have probably cleaned that up a bit. Um, but if you're gonna put that pressure on yourself to really get this out the door, like it's commendable. It's
Mm,
impressive that you're able to even get all these songs done within that time frame. Um, but yeah, definitely like maybe if they were all recording together in 24, 48 hours, it might have turned out better, but it does seem like it's a bit disjointed at certain
mm,
parts.
mm.
Yeah, but like I don't know, my favorite song on this album is the last one, House Lights. I thought like that's a great closer to the album. I really liked it. Um, yeah,
That's another thing for the flow of the actual music of the album. Like, other than like, I'm just gonna remove the vocals because I feel like we've talked about that quite a bit. But like, the flow of the album is actually pretty decent.
yeah.
So, and
Yeah,
I can't believe that they had 24 hours each
yeah,
member to record their parts. Like, that's crazy.
yeah. That's like so little time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Because you have to think there's probably like, because I don't know who does what in the band, but there's probably like guitar player, keys player, bass player, maybe drummer that does backup vocals too.
right. Yep.
And so you're recording technically two parts
Yep.
in 24 hours. So,
Yeah. Yeah, like that's what indie bands are, right? Like they have a budget and they can't spend $1 million in a studio, so you just have to put a time restriction on yourself and just be like, we can only spend this much amount of money,
mhm,
and that's it. So it's just the reality of it. But I
mhm,
think the overall like album, like how the songs flow together, I had no problem with it. I love listening to this from front to back. It was really enjoyable to listen to outside of the vocals. Um, but yeah, I wouldn't for me literally I wouldn't change anything outside of the actual lead vocal. I would have preferred, and if the approach is to have a harsh vocal, I just would have been going with the bassier vocal. That's it.
mhm. I would, that's a very fair statement to say. I would agree.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because I really like this album. Okay, Eric. Final thoughts, ratings. What are you gonna give this one?
I think we said enough about it. I'm gonna give this one a 6 out of 10.
Ooh, okay, that's
6 out of
commendable.
10 because there was a lot I enjoyed about it. I just, again, thought that the lead vocals just felt off with everything else.
Mm, yeah. I'm going to give it. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 because
Ooh,
I I
rock and roll.
I really like the album, and to take away points just because I didn't like the tonality of the vocalist. I mean, like
Mm.
maybe that's sort of hypocritical because last week we were talking about Smashing Pumpkins, and I'm like, Billy Corgan's voice is shit. I'm not gonna listen to this, and like this is like garbage. But I don't know. I really just like the songs. The songwriting on this is like brilliant, and the rest of the band just sounds so like it's so good.
Mm.
But one vocal problem on the whole thing does it ruin the whole? Maybe. Um, but I did still enjoy listening to this, and yeah, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 for this one.
Nice.
Okie dokie. So, that's our discussion on the brand new album, Another Day by Fucked Up. For those of you that are following along with us every single week, the album that we are going to be discussing will be the brand new Morgan Wade album, Obsessed. So I've never listened to Morgan Wade before, so this is going to be interesting. Eric, any thoughts before we to tease for the next episode?
I mean, she's a newer country artist. So I've heard some of her singles, but I don't know her too well.
Okay,
So
okay, so
this is
brand
gonna
new,
be new territory for me. So
very nice. All right, perfect. So that is another episode in the can of the Crossroads Music Podcast. We're going to be back next Wednesday at 10 p.m. ET, 7 p.m. PT here at twitch.tv/the Crossroads Music Podcast. Catch us on Spotify, Apple Music, all the places where you get your podcasts, and the album reviews go up on the YouTube channel. So feel free to, let us know your comments. Let us know your thoughts on everything that we say wrong, everything that we make mistakes on. Feel free to comment on all of that and let us know.
Please.
All right, that's it for this week. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Growing Up Gaming, thanks for joining us this week, and we will catch you all next time.